In 100 years, what show will still be airing? Every other decade they'll have a new version of Harry Potter, Star Wars, and Game of Thrones as weekly shows. Sesame Street. A Law and Order. Seriously, it's been on in some form since 1989. Doctor Who. Fucking One Piece, haha. Grey's Anatomy, that show never seems to end. The only signal remaining, the emergency broadcast system. Honestly, one of the game shows like Family Feud or Jeopardy, they're the easiest to replace people on while maintaining a core audience. Imagine Family Feud with an deep-fake Steve Harvey hologram. And people will know you are old when you say, I knew that guy when he was alive. The Simpsons, Futurama. I'm convinced The Simpsons will never end. Men of Reddit. What made you lose interest in the girl you wanted to ask out? She wanted to experiment with other girls and told me to wait until she was into guys again. She kept canceling, then would reschedule. It became comical how many times it had happened. Just tell me you aren't interested in going out. I finally just stopped reaching out. When I asked her about herself, she was happy to tell me all about it, but anytime I tried to share anything about myself, she seemed immediately disinterested, so I figured she just found me boring. She said no. Turns out I could not fix her and instead unfixed myself in the process. She announced she was pregnant and wasn't sure who was the dad. Figured it would be best to avoid getting mixed up in that drama. Serious, teachers. What is the worst thing you've seen a student do? Early years educator specializing in children with S.E.N. special educational needs. Eating feces. No competition. Seeing a child chewing their own shit is something that stays with you. Having to try and hook it all out of their mouth with your finger whilst they bite you is something you forcibly forget. Children with complex sensory issues, particularly those with hyposensitivity to smell and taste, will often seek out particularly strong smells and tastes, and things that we find disgusting are not to them and instead are stimulating. Combined with the delays to their development, which means they are still likely to be at the stage of exploration where everything is tested in the mouth, this can obviously lead to situations that are very unpleasant to us. Edited to add clarity and further explanation. If you could remove one thing from the world, what would it be? Cancer. Those Pete Davidson Taco Bell ads on Reddit. Allergies. So many people will be thankful for the day that all allergies suddenly disappeared. Also, this means mosquito bites will not be itchy anymore, because we are allergic to the mosquito spit they inject us with. Edit. To those of you who are being smart asses and saying that I basically killed everyone, I meant by the reactions to non-toxic allergens, peanuts, bees, milk, gluten, etc. And by the allergy to mosquito saliva, I meant the reaction wouldn't be so intense that it keeps you from sleeping. If there was no reaction, we wouldn't know that we were bitten, and we will get a lot more mosquito-borne diseases. Depression. Greed. Corruption. What's something 2020 ruined for you? My mental health and my money. I lost my job. I just hate my life since 2020. My optimism about the future of humanity. The pandemic was just the most recent event in a long line of events that showed me that our political systems are shit. We let politics blind us to wisdom. Our logistical systems are too fragile. And people will blame you for being proactive if your efforts actually prevent a crisis because, see, it wasn't a crisis after all. If aliens came to Earth and offered one-way trips off the planet, I'd go. College. Grade-wise I am doing good. But all the fun got taken out and I feel like I haven't gotten the full college experience because of the pandemic. The idiom, avoid it like the plague. On the flip side, actors' behavior in zombie movies seems a lot more plausible now. Suspension of disbelief is much easier for me to maintain since 2020.